What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my advice as a lifetime student athlete. I've always done sport more than anyone else I know. I've always competed in. Ever since I was first starting out being a student athlete, when I was joining my first sports team in high school, when I was starting to try and gym and compete in sports and do well in school, I struggled a lot. And first, my schoolwork tanked, second, my sports tanked, and I ended up not really being good at, or not being great at anything. And so I started trying to manage my time better. I started putting everything into an app called Structured, which I'll definitely link below. That thing has saved my life over the last year or so. I'd also recommend a proper calendar, online calendar, or even a physical calendar if you're 65 and over, but an online calendar for sure, because it's easy to edit, it sends you notifications, and all of that good stuff. And it just makes it so that you don't miss anything, because I know that's what I used to do a lot and still sometimes do, is miss things. Flat out just miss them because I was busy with something else, or I double booked myself with two training practices, it all piles up and it just ruins the whole concept of being a student athlete. So definitely get structured, plan your days, and get a calendar. Now, planning your day shouldn't be like, at this time I gotta eat and then 5 minutes later I gotta go to the bathroom or whatever, but it should be planning everything that you have to do throughout the day. So I don't plan every single class that I have to go to. I don't plan every meal that I have to go to, because those are set anyways. I plan the stuff that I have chosen to do the next day. So I'll plan either a training session in the morning, I'll put that into Structured. And then if I have a training session after school, I'll put that into Structured. If I have a meeting after school, I'll put that into Structured. If I have a test that I have to study for straight after school, I'll put that into Structured. Everything that I need to do during my nighttime homework time, that's when I'll put it into Structured. And that essentially helps you to stop missing things and stop forgetting things, and just helps you stay more organized in general. I highly recommend that you prioritize sleep as a student athlete. It's something that I didn't exactly prioritize, and I think I really paid the price, physically and mentally, because if you don't sleep properly the night before an exam, because you were cramming, because you weren't studying because of practice, you're not going to do well on the exam no matter what. No matter how much you cram the night before, if you don't sleep enough, you're not going to do well. Your brain doesn't function if you don't sleep. So definitely prioritize your sleep. Get a sleep app. If it motivates you more, pay for the 100 Rand, $10 subscription. Pay for it, because it will seriously benefit you in the long run. The key to being a good student athlete is always balance. It's in the name, student athlete. It doesn't really matter what you put before the other athlete or the student. All that matters is that you're balanced. So if you know that you're pretty smart and you don't need to study that much, you're not too focused on your studies, and you really want to push for your athletic performance, then you know that you can dedicate more time to your sport than you do to your academics. But if you know that you struggle in general with school and you're pretty good at sports, but you're not 100% about making a career out of it, make sure you set aside that time to study. A few last things that I'd like to recommend for student athletes and people who are really into their sport at school is be safe. I I entered the CrossFit Open in 2021, and I was actually too young to enter, so I lied about my age. And in the competition, I tweaked my neck, and it still, what year is it? 2025. It's still 4 years later. It's not better. I'm a 17-year-old with neck pain. I I haven't been comfortable. Like in this moment, I'm not comfortable. I haven't been comfortable in 4 years because I pushed myself too hard, too young. So I think that is something that I cannot stress enough, is that if you are younger than 16, or if you are younger than 15, do not lift heavier than you can. I haven't gone for a squat PR in 2 years or a year and a half. I haven't gone for a bench PR in 9 months, mainly because of another shoulder injury, which was not gym related, rugby related. But besides the point, the point is, if you're going to push yourself too hard in the gym, you are going to damage your joints and you're going to severely injure yourself. And that is seriously not something you want to do as a young, promising athlete. Jeepers. As a young, promising athlete. Some things you can do instead is something that I wish I had done when I was like 14, 15, is calisthenics. It is so good for you and so good for your body, so good for your joints, for your muscles. It actually does make you strong and makes you big. But it is not as harmful for you and not as harmful for your joints at that age as the gym is. And it just looks sick being able to do all those things. Like the only calisthenics related thing I can do is a muscle up, which seems cool to a few people, but it's really not, and it's not that hard. And when you see all these people doing the planches and the handstand backflips and all of that, you just wish that you had started earlier. So I wish that I had gotten into fitness or I had gotten into calisthenics. I wish that I had gotten into calisthenics at the age of 14, 15, because that time period of like 3 or 4 years in your early teens is where you can seriously start to develop an advantage and seriously make some really important choices for your body. So to summarize everything, sleep, don't overextend yourself in the gym, plan your day, get a calendar, and all in all, just have balance in your life. Don't commit every ounce of your time to your sport if you're not planning on 100% making that your career. Make sure that you are balancing sport and your student life. And also, don't forget about building relationships while you're this age. I know that often you build some of the strongest relationships of your life in your sports teams, but I especially recommend this for people in single person sports like tennis or athletics, like me. Make sure that you have friends outside of your sport and your classroom. Make sure that you have people that you can go to turn off the sport and academics and just relax. Because I know that a lot of athletes, or a lot of student athletes, when they're away from the books and the field, they are just by themselves, rotting on their phone, sleeping during the day, watching TV, and it's okay to relax like that, but if that's your only way of relaxing, that's not good. So make sure that you do have a social circle outside of what you're doing day to day, because if you don't, you're going to develop some really unhealthy habits that will essentially hinder your growth as an athlete. To all aspiring student athletes or athlete students or whatever you are, that is my advice as a lifetime student athlete on how to survive this insane way of life. If you did like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I post stuff like this all the time, and I'm trying to do daily uploads and vlog and all of that stuff. So if you think that you'd like to see more of this, 100% hit subscribe. Also, go check out my Instagram, my TikTok. I post free workouts there, free advice there, all sorts of good stuff. And just as a last thing, if you are looking for an online coach, I've got I'm taking in 3 people for absolutely free, and I'm going to train you for the next 2 months leading up to December for 100% free. That's nutrition, workouts, updating, accountability, all of that stuff for absolutely free for 2 months. And then afterwards, you can either choose to stay or you can take the 2 months and go enjoy your holiday. But yeah, 100%, if you want to take advantage of that, make sure you do. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.